Welcome back to Fingraph India. If you're a CA, CS, or BCom student, or honestly, even if you're just diving into the wild world of taxation for the very first time, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're tackling a topic that notoriously stresses students out, but I promise you, by the end of this quick explainer, your concepts are going to be crystal clear. We are officially decoding Section 11 of the Income Tax Act 2025. This entire section revolves around incomes that completely bypass your total taxable income. Let's break it down with some simple logic.
Okay, take a look at this. This right here is the direct extract from the BEAR Act, Chapter 3, Section 11. I know exactly what you're thinking. Looking at this dense legal text is super intimidating, right? When you open your textbooks and see this wall of heavy jargon, it's completely normal to feel a bit overwhelmed. But take a breath. We are absolutely not going to rote memorize this. We're going to slice through this legal language and extract highly logical, exam-ready concepts that will actually stick in your brain permanently.
Here is our game plan for today. 1. Tax-free incomes explained. 2. Tax-free persons explained. 3. The power of conditions. 4. Government rulemaking power. And 5. A quick exam revision.
Let's jump straight into Part 1, Tax-Free Incomes Explained.
To really master Section 11, you've got to mentally split the law into two distinct buckets. On the left side, in Column 1, we have specific incomes that are totally tax-free, and these are categorized into 5 distinct schedules. Schedules 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now on the right side, in Column 2, the law shifts its focus away from the actual money and onto the specific persons or entities receiving that money. This is completely covered in Schedule 7. Memorizing this split is your first major trick. Incomes are Schedules 2 through 6, and persons get Schedule 7.
So the real meat of this starts with Section 11, subsection 1. In the simplest terms possible, when you're calculating the total income for a person's tax year, you completely ignore the specific incomes that fall under Schedules 2 through 6. For example, if a specific dividend or agricultural receipt is exempt in those schedules, it simply doesn't get taxed. Sounds pretty amazing, right? The government is letting you earn money completely tax-free, but as you probably already know, in taxation, there is always a catch.
And here is that catch. I want you to highlight this exact quote in your notes right now, subject to fulfillment of conditions specified therein. If you're sitting in a CA or CS exam, writing down this exact phrase is absolutely critical for scoring full marks. The government is basically saying, sure, your income is exempt, but only if you strictly follow our specific rules and conditions.
This creates a very strict cause and effect relationship. Side A is Section 11(1). If you play by the rules and satisfy the conditions, congratulations, that tax exemption is yours. But look at Side B. This is Section 11(2), which is essentially the penalty clause. The second you break a condition, say the exemption required the money to be used for agriculture, but you used it for a commercial business instead, that protective shield from subsection 1 instantly vanishes. And boom, that income is heavily added right back into your total taxable income. Follow the rules, get the benefit, break the rules, pay the tax.
Moving right along to Section 2, Tax-Free Persons Explained.
All right, shifting gears to Section 11, subsection 3. The focus completely changes here. We're no longer talking about specific types of income. Instead, the government is handing out a blanket exemption to entire categories of persons listed over in Schedule 7. Think of a specific registered charitable trust or a university. If you are an entity lucky enough to be listed in Schedule 7, your total income is not chargeable to tax under this act.
But let's see how well you're grasping the underlying logic of the Income Tax Act so far. Time for a quick digital pop quiz. Think back to the logic we just used for incomes. What do you think happens if a person listed in Schedule VI fails to meet their specified conditions? Try to recall that cause and effect structure we just built.
And here's the answer. Did you guess it right? It's the exact same cause and effect logic applied to subsections 3 and 4. Over on Side A, Section 11(3) says if the person meets the specific conditions, they remain tax-free. But on Side B, if they fail those Schedule 7 conditions, Section 11(4) is immediately triggered, the protective shield drops, and that person's entire income becomes fully taxable for that year. It's perfectly symmetrical law. 1 and 2 apply to incomes, while 3 and 4 apply to persons.
Next up, Section 3, the power of conditions.
Consider this the absolute heart of Section 11. A condition is a specific legal requirement that you must strictly satisfy, period. But why does this provision even exist? Well, the government is giving you a massive financial benefit by keeping your income out of the tax net, but They don't just hand out freebies for nothing. They want to ensure this exemption is actually being used for its intended economic or social purpose. The conditions are effectively the gatekeepers of Section 11, or you could even call them the villains. They're designed to catch anyone trying to misuse the exemption. If you want the benefit, you have to play by their rules. Keep that logic in mind for your exams.
Section 4. Government rulemaking power.
Which brings us to Section 11, subsection 5. This is a fairly simple administrative clause, but it's important. It clarifies that the central government holds the absolute power to make new rules or issue notifications for the purposes of this section, covering all the way from Schedules 2 to 7. Basically, the government is building in a legal framework for themselves so they can manage, update, and tweak the exemptions and conditions without having to rewrite the entire act from scratch.
Finally, Section 5, quick exam revision. Grab a screenshot of this next one.
Let's summarize the whole thing into one logical flowchart. Step 1. Remember the split. Exemptions either apply to specific incomes, which are Schedules I through 6, or specific persons, which is Schedule 7. Step 2. To claim these exemptions, you absolutely must fulfill the conditions. Subject to conditions is your new best friend. Step 3. The penalty. If those conditions fail, subsections 2 and 4 instantly make that income taxable. And finally, Step 4. The central government calls the shots and makes the rules under subsection 5. If you can visualize this exact flow in the exam hall, there is no way you'll get a Section 11 question wrong.
And there you have it, Section 11 fully simplified. If this explainer helped clear up your concepts today, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Share this with your CA and CS batchmates who might be struggling with the BEAR Act. Let's make tax easy for everyone. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Fingraph India and press that bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming Income Tax Act 2025 updates. Before you go, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. If an exempt charitable trust takes all its tax-free money and loses it in risky stock market investments, do they still get to keep their tax exemption, or does a massive penalty kick in? Think about that. Keep studying hard, and I will see you in the next explainer.